Hello, everybody. My name is Carlos Nolasco, and I'd like to introduce my research topic. Through the years, teaching English as a foreign language had become an essential issue of higher education. This has been focused on the need that students have of improving their communication skills, not only in their spoken form, but also in those that include the written language. However, the presence of traditional approaches to the English language teaching has very often neglected the role of the mental lexicon in the learning and use of the language. The mental lexicon makes a special reference to storage and the way in which words and their meanings are processed in the mind of the individual, which represents a fundamental component of manifestation in the use and comprehension of language. Starting from this point, I decided to open a research in which I can find answers that can help me understand the reason why this phenomenon occurs. This is how I chose this title for my work, Mental Lexicon, A New Horizon for English Teaching in Higher Education at UPEL Maturin. Mental lexicon is considered to be like the mental dictionary of words and their meanings on people's mind, which acts as a decisive element in language processing for effective communication. That is why it could be inferred that the nature of the mental lexicon and the way in which it is organized have remained a discussion topic in the linguistic field over time. During my teacher development in the English specialty at the Universidad Pedagógica Experimental Libertador Instituto Pedagógico Maturín, I have been able to notice the low lexical level shown by the students of this specialty, which can affect the English learning because in some way it blocks vocabulary management, diminishing the attention that linguistic meaning system deserves. This circumstance led me to start this investigation as an opportunity to find out the possible reason for these deficiencies and at the same time orient myself to the fact on how I could contribute to improve it. This research aims to investigate the potential of the mental lexicon as a new horizon for the teaching of English in higher education. An important emphasis will be placed on the role of vocabulary acquisition, as well as storage and retrieval in English language learning and teaching. Also, through this work, I will examine how this can be integrated into current English language teaching practices. Once the entire path that leads to the exploration of the potential of the mental lexicon in the teaching of the English language has been gone through, it is expected that this work can contribute to provide a new horizon for the teaching of this language in higher education. The findings of this research will reveal the development of new pedagogical approaches that better integrate the mental lexicon into English language teaching practices. Another great goal of my work is that it aims to promote a more effective use of the language and improve the communicative competence of education students in the specialty of English at the UPEL Maturin. Talking about the problem statement, I started from the idea that learning English as a foreign language by education students is essential in higher education in Venezuela universities. However, students often face difficulties in acquiring a large and accurate vocabulary due to the complexity of English and a lack of vocabulary understanding. Some investigations have shown that the mental lexicon, the web of words and their semantic relationships that speakers have acquired, plays a fundamental role in language processing and production. Despite its importance, the mental lexicon has not been sufficiently explored in the teaching of English as a foreign language in higher education. Therefore, more investigations are required to examine the role of the mental lexicon in the learning of English for education students in university. Thus, with the aim of developing new teaching methodologies that allow a more effective and lasting vocabulary acquisition to be developed. As for my theoretical background, I cited these three authors who have carried out wide investigation about this topic. The first, Pustejovsky, 1991, Fodor and Lepore, 1998. They both argued that despite its apparent simplicity, the nature of lexical knowledge is a matter of dispute in the language sciences, which make us think that the study of the mental lexicon is a highly complex task, since each author maintains his point of view very fixed on his own thinking and vision. Second, Steven Pinker, 1994. He stated in his influential book, The Language Instinct, that the mental lexicon is organized in a hierarchical structure, with individual words connected to broader categories of meaning. This gives us the idea that college students can develop their lexical level by establishing words connection according to their semantic relationships, which means that in this structure, the words can be organized into level of generalization and specificity. In this sense, as a student advances in his or her professional training, he or she acquires better skills in the use and management of vocabulary. And finally, Al-Qahtani, 2015. He published his thesis, which was entitled Effect of Explicit Instruction on the Expansion of the Mental Lexicon of Students of English as a Foreign Language. This study investigated the effect of explicit instruction on the expansion of the mental lexicon in learners of English as a foreign language. The result showed that the explicit instruction was effective in improving the acquisition of vocabulary and the organization of the student's mental lexicon. The justification of my work is based on the idea that we, as teachers, should understand the processes that occur when the individual is learning a foreign language. Personally, I believe that this work can help me self-propose ideas that can improve my teaching strategies about vocabulary so that I can contribute to enrich the way students communicate. To open a way to enter this path, research, I settled this question. What is the role of the mental lexicon in English language learning and teaching? The answer of this question not only could give me a theoretical finding, but also could lead me reach my main objective, which is to explore the potential of the concept of mental lexicon for English teaching in higher education at UPL Maturin. This research is intended to be carried out at the Universidad Pedagógica Experimental Libertador in Instituto Pedagógico Maturin, taking into account the education career students, specialty English, from which I plan to choose 21 participants of different ages, belonging to different semesters of the aforementioned university career as a sample for this study. Thank you very much for your attention, and here are my social media contacts.